Shepherds are people whose work is to herd or tend sheep. They typically live a simple life, tending their flocks and leading them to pastures. Shepherds are often depicted as humble and hard-working individuals who have a deep connection with their animals. When we think of shepherds, we often imagine them as tending to their flocks in peaceful pastures. However, did you know that one of the most famous shepherds in history went on to become the legendary King David? In today's video, we will be discussing the story of a young shepherd boy named David and his journey to becoming the legendary King of Israel. But before we start, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our videos. The youngest son of Jesse, a Bethlehem Ephrathite, was named David. His father was the son of Obed and the grandson of Boaz, who was of the line of Judah and the great-grandson of King Abraham. Although he was the youngest son, God had big plans for him. Before we delve into these plans, let's take a closer look at David's early life. From a young age, it was evident that David possessed special qualities that set him apart from his peers. He was known throughout the region for his exceptional skills as a musician, particularly for his mastery of the harp. But David's talents were not limited to music alone. He was also a brave and courageous warrior, who fearlessly defended his sheep against dangerous wild animals such as bears and lions. On several occasions, he demonstrated his strength and agility by fighting off these wild animals and bringing back his flock unharmed. These stories quickly spread throughout the land, making David a local hero in the eyes of his community. As word of David's skills and wisdom spread, his reputation as a true leader began to emerge, laying the foundation for his future rise to kingship. One day, while David was tending to his sheep, he received a message from his father Jesse. He was summoned to the city of Jabesh Gilead, where King Saul's army was camped to get his brother's armor fitted, as they had been called up for service in the ongoing war against the Philistines. Upon arriving at camp, David inquired about the possibility of bringing some refreshment to his brothers. Upon hearing this, Jesse packed provisions for the troops, including 5 loaves of bread, a bag of wine, cheese, figs, and some cured meat. David set off towards the camp, carrying the supplies on his back. Upon reaching the camp, David learned from one of the soldiers that his 3 eldest brothers were already in the front ranks. While standing there watching the battle, David noticed that the Philistines had a giant among them. The giant, named Goliath, was heavily armed and was challenging the Israelites to a one-on-one combat. Day after day, he taunted the Israelites, mocking their gods and boasting about his own strength. The Israelites were terrified and afraid to face Goliath because of his massive size and intimidating appearance. No one was willing to step forward and accept his challenge. As David watched the battle, he grew angry at the giant's insults to the Israelites and their God. Filled with determination, he decided to confront Goliath. David approached the Israelite commander and expressed his desire to fight the giant. However, the commander refused, believing that David was too young and inexperienced to take on such a formidable opponent. Despite the commander's refusal, David remained determined to fight Goliath. King Saul, who heard of his bravery, asked David to put on his own tunic and armor. But they were very big for a small boy like David. David told the king that he could not wear them as he is not used to them, and went to a stream nearby and chose 5 smooth stones and a sling, a staff, and went out to meet the giant. He took the stone and placed it in his pouch, then ran towards the giant. When he was close enough, David pulled the stone out of his pouch, slung it with all his might, and hit the giant in the forehead. The stone penetrated the giant's helmet and killed him instantly. David then ran over and grabbed Goliath's sword, cut off his head, and delivered it to King Saul as proof of his victory. The Israelites were overjoyed and shouted for David's name to be praised. They celebrated their deliverance from the Philistines and their newfound hope in God's providence. The news of David's victory spread like wildfire throughout the land, and soon everyone knew the name of the young shepherd who had defeated the giant Goliath. People came from far and wide to witness the incredible feat that he had accomplished, and David became a national hero overnight. His courage and determination in the face of overwhelming odds inspired awe and admiration in all who heard his story. Following his victory over Goliath, David continued to serve in King Saul's army as a warrior. His bravery and skill in battle quickly made him a favorite among the troops, and he rose through the ranks rapidly, eventually becoming a leader of the army. As David's fame grew, so did the envy of King Saul. Saul became increasingly suspicious of David's popularity and feared that David would eventually take the throne away from him. Saul's paranoia and jealousy towards David led him to act in irrational and harmful ways. Over the times, Saul would try to have David killed in battle, so he gave him difficult missions. But David succeeded each time, and his fame grew even bigger. In 1st Act, chapter 18, Saul would plot to have David killed in battle, but David would prevail, for the Lord was with him. Eventually, David fled from Saul's kingdom and wandered around the wilderness with a small group of followers. It was during this time that he faced many challenges and hardships, but his determination and faith in God helped him overcome every obstacle. After a while, Saul died, and David was called upon to return to take his place as the rightful king of Israel. However, there were still some obstacles to overcome before David could fully claim the throne. There were rival claimants and internal conflicts within Israel that threatened to tear the kingdom apart. But, with the help of his loyal followers and the support of the people, David was able to defeat his enemies and unite the kingdom under his rule. He established Jerusalem as the capital of his kingdom and made it the religious and cultural center of Israel. During his reign, Israel reached its golden age, becoming a powerful and prosperous nation. David's legacy as a great king and warrior continued for generations, and he is remembered as one of the greatest heroes of the Old Testament. In conclusion, David's journey from a humble shepherd to a legendary king was a remarkable one. He was a man of many talents, known for his skills as a musician, warrior, and leader. His bravery in defeating the giant Goliath brought him national recognition, and his military successes further solidified his reputation as a great warrior. Despite facing challenges and adversities throughout his life, including the persecution of King Saul, David remained steadfast in his faith and determination. With the help of his loyal followers and the support of the people, he eventually became the king of Israel and ushered the nation into a golden age of prosperity and peace. David's legacy continues to inspire people today, reminding us that with courage, faith, and determination, anyone can achieve greatness. Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed learning about the story of David, the legendary king of Israel. If you did, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button below the video to show your appreciation. We also encourage you to leave a comment sharing your thoughts or any insights you gained from the video. Your feedback is very important to us and helps us create more engaging and informative content for you. Additionally, if you haven't already, we kindly ask you to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know when we release new content and can continue learning about inspiring stories and historical figures. Thank you once again for watching. We wish you all the best and look forward to seeing you in our next video.